First off, make a chain that's long enough to stretch from one point of your shoulder to the other point and is also a multiple of 3. For me, that is 60 chains. So I'm going to chain 60. After you've made your chain, you're going to skip the first 3 chains from the hook, 1, 2, 3, and into the 4th chain, yarn over and make a double crochet. Chain 1 and make another double crochet in the same space. Yarn over, skip 2 stitches, 2 chains, and into the 3rd chain, yarn over, make a double crochet, chain 1 and another double crochet in the same space. Yarn over, skip 2, into the 3rd, make a double crochet, chain 1 and another double crochet, all in the same space. This is the pattern that you follow until you get to the end of the chain. Skip 2 into the 3rd, make a double crochet, chain 1 and another double crochet all the way until you get to the end, and I'll meet you there. When you get to the end of the row, you notice that we have just 2 chains left. You're going to skip 1 and into the final chain, make a double crochet. Every row will end with a double crochet. Chain 3 to start a new row. Turn your work, and we're going to make a V on top of a V. Into this first V, yarn over, make a double crochet, chain 1 and another double crochet in the same space. So a V on top of a V. Into the next V, yarn over, go straight into it, make a double crochet, chain 1 and a double crochet. This is basically the pattern for the V stitch. Into the next V, make a double crochet, chain 1 and a double crochet. Do this until you get to the end of the row. At the end of the row, when you've completed all your V's, yarn over and place your final double crochet into the top of the chain 3. Chain 3 to start a new row. Turn your work, and you make a repeat of this V-stitch pattern. You'll make more rows until you have something that looks like this. This is what the back panel would look like, and it should fit from the top of your collarbone down to your under bust area. And then we'll start working on the shoulders. I have now marked the 2 points. Make sure that both sides have the same number of stitches. For me, that is 4 V's. 1, 2, 3, and 4, what the stitch marker is. But this side too, it's the same with 1, 2, 3, and 4. Chain 3 and turn your work as usual. And we're going to work the shoulder panel back and forth from this point up until the point of the stitch marker. So work the V on top of a V, and the next V is the one where the stitch marker is. Instead of working a V into this place, I'm only going to work 1 double crochet to close the row, just like this, because this is the last V that we're going to work for the shoulder panel, the V where you placed your stitch marker. You can remove the marker here, chain 3, turn your work, and you work another row for the shoulders. You work the shoulders up until you have about 3 to 4 inches. and make sure that whatever number of rows that you work, make sure that it's an odd number, maybe 5 rows, 7 rows, 9 rows, and so on. That is so that the last row that will work will be here inside, so that we can start our increases for the front panel. So whatever rows that you're working, make sure that it's an odd number of rows and that it ends inside here. For me, I'm going to make 7 rows for the shoulder panel, and I'll see you when I'm done with that to show you what it looks like. This is 7 rows of the shoulder panel for me, and it measures to about 3.5 inches, and because I worked an odd number of rows, you can see that my last row ended inside in this part here. Now we'll start the increases for the front panel. Chain 3, turn your work, and make a V as usual, but we're going to do an increase. This is the first V that we've made, and you're going to chain 1 again, yarn over, and into that same space make another double crochet. So it would look like 2 V's in the first V. This is the increase for the first row, and just work the remaining rows like normal with the V on top of a V. In the next row there will be no increases, so it's like 1 row of increase and 1 normal row. In the next row you're just going to work the V stitch like normal with no increases at all. The V on top of a V, this is the increase that we made in the previous row. Work a V into the first V, this first one, and into the second V that we did with an increase, work another V. And your final double crochet into the chain 3. So this is how we're going to work the front panel. The increases will only be in this side, this part here. This place we want to keep a straight edge, so there will be no increases. We're going to increase only in this place, this part, and you want to maybe place a stitch marker into the first row of increase that we made, just so we know that this is the first row. And the next row will be an increase row. Turn your work. Remember that we're only increasing inside, no increase on the edge. And into the first V, make an increase. That will be a V, chain 1, and another V like this. So it looks like 2 V's in 1 V, and then continue as normal. For the next row, there will be no increases, just working the V as usual. When you get to this increase part, work a V into the first, and a V into the second, and your final double crochet in the chain 3. This is how you work the front panel. So after this, it will be another increase row. We're only increasing inside, no increases here. So 1 row of increase and 1 normal row, and you're going to make the front panel the same number of rows as the back panel, starting from, you start counting the front panel from that first increase row where I've placed the stitch marker. So count the number of rows you have in the back and make sure that it will match with the number of front panels. So start counting your front panel from this first increase row. I currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'll keep making one row of increase and one normal row until I have the same number of rows as the back panel. I'll keep making my front panel of the camera, and I'll come back to show you what it looks like and how to move on from that point. I've completed my 24 rows for the first side of the front panel, and this is what it looks like so far. We're going to make the second side of the panel now, starting with the shoulder panels, just like we did for this part. To start the shoulder panel for this side, you'll attach your yarn to the edge right here and tie it in place. Pull out a loop, chain 3, and just work the shoulder panels the same way that we worked the other half, with the V on top of a V. And in this part where the stitch marker is, you're going to place one single crochet like this, just the same way that we worked the other side. It's the same thing basically. I'm going to do 6 more rows of the shoulder panel because I did 7 rows for the other side, and plus this one that I've just made, that will be 7 rows, and then I'll start working the increases for the front panel just the same way that we have worked this one. And when I'm done with that, I'll come back again to show you what it looks like and also how to move forward from that point. This is currently what it looks like. I have made the side panels for both sides, and next thing for us to do is to join this 2 sides, and we'll leave a hole that's big enough to fit our arms snugly, not too tight. I already joined this first side here, and this hole is just enough to go over the biggest part of my arm, and it fits quite snug. For this second one, I'm also going to join it. I could just show you my joining method. You could use whichever one that you like. I'll be joining this with my hook. You could use a darning needle if that's more your vibe. And I'm going to join with a single crochet, join in, pull out a loop, and there are no clear stitches to follow, so I'm just picking about 2 loops on each side of the panels and joining them with a single crochet, just like this, just like that. And I'm going to do that up until I'm at the same level that I join this other side right here, and I'll come back to show you how to start the arms. I have joined both sides of this jacket, so now we'll start working on the sleeves for the arms. Pick up your yarn and your hook, insert your hook into the seam where the seam of the jacket is. That is where we have just joined. Insert your hook, pull out your yarn and tie it in place. Pull out a loop, chain 1, and we'll make a single crochet border around this armhole. Into the next space that you see, the next box, make a single crochet, and into this space here, make a single crochet. Into the next big box, make a single crochet, and into the next available space, which is this small space here, make a single crochet like that until you get to the end of this arm. Make single crochets all around into the big box and the small space until you're at the end. At the end of the row, close it off with a slip stitch into the first single crochet that we made, and we'll start working the V-stitch and the round for the sleeves. Chain 4. Every row starts with a chain 4 for this sleeve. Yarn over, and into that same space make a double crochet. This will be our first V. Yarn over, skip 2, and into the third make another V, that is double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. The rest of this sleeve till the end will be a repeat of our V-stitch pattern. Skip 2 and into the third, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. So keep doing that until you get to the end, and I'll show you how to close off the row. I'm at the end of the row and I have 2 stitches left. If you have 2 or 3 stitches left or 1, it doesn't matter, just go straight into this first V here and just make a slip stitch just like that. For the next row, chain 4. Remember that every row for this sleeve starts with a chain 4. That is chain 4, yarn over, and into that same space make another double crochet. That is our first V, and then you just continue as normal with the V on V pattern. That is until you get to your desired length for the arms. I'll show you how many rows that I will make for my own sleeve when I'm done with it, and I'll come back to this video to when I'm done. Yeah, I have made the sleeves for both sides, and this is what it looks like. I made 9 rows of the V-stitch in the round for each of the sleeve, and you know that to start the second sleeve you just need to follow the same method that we have used for the other sleeve, starting with the single crochet border, and then you work the V-stitch in the round, and I made 9 rows in total. The next and final thing to do is to add the tie straps to the top. I already made 1 tie strap, and I'm going to show you how to make this one so you can apply it to both sides. Pick up your yarn and your hook and place it in the edge part of this top. Tie your yarn in place. Pull out a loop. And in that same space, chain 1, and in that same space, make a single crochet. The next space, available space, will be this box hole here. Place a single crochet. The next available space will be this very small space here. Place a single crochet in that too. I made 5 single crochets in total for the other side, and this is 3 that I have made so far. The next space is this box, and the next one is this small space here. That is 5 single crochets in total. And for the next row, I'll chain 3, turn my work. The chain 3 counts as a double crochet, so yarn over and into the next space. Don't work any into this very first one. Into the next space, yarn over, get double crochet. Into the next space, another double crochet. To the 4th, another double crochet. The 5th and final stitch, make another double crochet. That is 5 double crochets in total. Chain 3. Remember, the chain 3 counts as a double crochet, so when you turn your work you will not make any double crochet into this first, you yarn over and go into the second one here and make a double crochet all the way to the end. And that's basically how I work the straps. For this part, for this first strap, I made about 20 rows of double crochet, just the same repeat pattern all the way to how many number of rows that you want, how long you want your strap to be. So just repeat the pattern for whatever your desired length is. This is what the final piece looks like after adding the tie straps to both sides. We've now come to the end of this tutorial. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.